Hey everyone, this is the real me talking. So I just want to say I didn't actually do the voiceover for this video because I know that I won't be able to do a good job reading a 1500 word script. So I apologize in advance for that. But yeah, aside from that, I'll just let AI me take over and bring you guys into a bit of a dive.
With the COA8 group stage coming to a close, and once again with the NAEU teams, especially the survivors, not really performing as well as people have hoped for, I would like to discuss one key reason, aside from in-game skills, that I have noticed while watching a whole bunch of games from this core. Yes, I think I might have found the reason behind why year after year, the NAEU survivors are just not getting better. Before I go on, I just want to say that in-game skills are obviously important in competitive. This video is not made to deny that at all. In fact, I am very much aware that NAEU needs to work on our in-game skills. Prospector vaults into the wax hardest 7 seconds into the game. Full health puppeteer dying to hullabaloo in 10 seconds. These are really poorly played, and everyone should avoid these in the future games. But here's the thing. Some survivor teams can actually recover and still get a draw despite being outplayed by the opposing side skill-wise. Why is that? In the NAEU regional qualifiers, there have been many misplays that are not skill-related. Let's take a look at two examples. First, in round 1 of Fortis Simo vs RM, last cipher is at factory, Gravekeeper has no items, and is chaired at the front gate. So female dancer comes to rescue. After the pop, the ideal play would probably be letting female dancer run towards factory, or god kite while gardener heads to open back gate. This way, female dancer can rescue. After Gravekeeper gets downed, if hunter teleports, if the hunter doesn't teleport, there would also be a decent chance that the hunter might miss her when she goes for gate or dungeon. But at the very least, this would allow at least one survivor out this round. But instead, they opted to let a Gravekeeper with no item kite to kite a goatman for like 30 seconds while both gardener and female dancer rushed to backgate. Thankfully, the Gravekeeper actually did manage to kite around 30 seconds, which should be enough to get one survivor out. Now, I know the survivors messed up after the teleport, but none of that needed to happen if they chose the other method. Also, if the Gravekeeper was not able to kite as long as he did, which could have easily happened against Goatman, this would have been an automatic 4. Elimination, and the survivors won't even get the chance to open the gate. And then, we have round 3 of Omni vs MHX. Acrobat gets second chaired. Opera singer forces half health, first officer off the middle cipher, before coming back with mechanic feeding tinnitus. But then, the first officer goes to look for a new cipher at Shack, which he should not have went to at all, because the cipher there has already been finished by his teammate. After Acrobat expires on chair, the hunter goes straight towards the first officer, because she saw the way the first officer went and finds him immediately. This is a huge misplay from the survivors because the first officer just wasted a whole third of the Acrobat's chair time without any decoding, also giving the hunter more momentum for free by allowing her to chase him as her next target right after she got her first elimination. So, throughout this COA, it is evident that NAEU teams don't have the most optimal communications. A lot of people think that talking more equals communication, and not talking equals no communication. Well, that's not how it works. Communication is an ability that takes skills. It is the act of conveying information for the purpose of a shared understanding. Considering how Identity 5 does not have a built-in voice call system that pushes players to communicate like some other games do, there are lots of Identity 5 players who are not good at communicating. Usually, communication can be split into 4 rough categories: pure information, interactions, decision-making, and everything else. The everything else category is mostly used to lighten up the mood. Stuff like nice kite, or that's okay, so we will exclude them from our discussion. As for the other 3, here are some examples. Let's imagine you are a mercenary about to go for a rescue, but the full presence NAEU has wanted order on you. If you say, I can't make that rescue, that would be pure information. If you say, I can't make that rescue, coordinator, can you go instead? This is an interaction. If you say, I can't make the rescue, coordinator, go save. This is called decision making. And here, we get a concept that is common in CN and JP, but don't seem to be around here in AEU. A decision maker, or commander. A commander is the one survivor on the team who uses interaction and decision making as their main method of communication, and can consistently feed this information to their teammates. Some example players of the commander position are AK Jelly and Shin Ami. But do keep in mind, the commander is not omniscient, and in certain scenarios, they won't know what exactly is going on. So for everyone else on the team, the minimum requirement would be to be able to feed all the information to all the teammates. And if they want to reach a higher level, have more interactions, and make certain decisions themselves. As there isn't always time for the commander to make the decisions in a fast-paced game like Identity 5. Adding on to that, why did I say communication also takes skills? Well, being able to express your thoughts using the simplest language in the shortest time is no easy task. Let's say Dream Witch is chasing one of the 4 survivors in Graveyard on Red Church, while the other 3 survivors are decoding at the broken wall half of the map, while they might be having the same thoughts. Some players might only be able to say something like, here come decode. This is inefficient communication, because the teammates won't be able to understand. Yes, teammates might be able to use their game sense to make out what they're saying, but it could very well cause miscommunication as. And now, in contrast, some other players might be able to say, come decode middle broken, so we don't get cipher locked. You see what I mean here? This is a good demonstration of the difference in communication skills. Also, it is crucial to know when to feed information, when to interact, and when to make decisions. Let's talk about this using an example of a CN qualifier match. In this match, the hunter chairs little girl at test pallet and leaves straight towards the corner house to chase mercenary. But neither the prospector nor the fire investigator went for the save, which sealed the result of this match as a 4 elimination. Now, let's say the fire investigator isn't the best at communicating. What type of communication should little girl use? If she uses pure information and says, the hunter is leaving, then we might encounter the issue of the fire investigator not knowing what to do because there has been no further instructions given. If she uses interaction and say, the hunter is leaving, can you come save me? While this is better, we could still run into an issue where the fire investigator doesn't know whether he can save or not. Now, I know that sounds ridiculous when we are watching from an omniscient POV, but it's really quite understandable. Just imagine you asking a harasser if they can come harass in rank. Some harassers who are less experienced will be like, well, what if you die before I get there? What if I don't harass long enough that we actually lose cipher progress? So, can I come harass or not? So in this situation, I believe the best type of communication for little girl would be to make a decision. Saying hunter is leaving, come save me. Telling the fire investigator to stop hesitating because I have made the decision. You just do what I say. Alright. Now some of you may ask, why can't we just make decisions every time then? Well, the issue with that is not every player on the team will have all the information all the time. This means they would need to either feed information or interact so everyone reaches a shared understanding before making a decision. What if the harasser actually cannot come for whatever reason there is in-game? This is why players like AK Jelly and Shinami ask their teammates to think and make decisions with them. Even though they are already top commanders themselves, there will always be a point where their teammates would have to make a decision themselves. With these in mind, having a reasonable communication pace and frequency, giving enough time to make decisions, improving at expressing oneself, and being able to make the correct decisions on the point are key components to every good survivor team. I could say though, NAEU still has a long way to go. I hope this video provided some insights. Feel free to voice your own thoughts in the comments. And thank you for tuning in.